quoting from the night before, quoting from the Jeff himself. Whiskey is his best friend and his worst enemy. Jeff Hardy was pulled over at gunpoint. Several 911 calls were placed about some seriously awful swerving driving. Third DUI in 4 years. He blew more than 3 times the legal limit for drink driving. And for people who don't know why it's such an important subject to Dutch, we've got a couple of videos about Dutch talking about Tammy Sitch and her legal issues revolving around drink driving. But for now, your reaction to Jeff Hardy being pulled over?
Well, he should have been pulled over. And the reason they pulled the guns, I found out later that he was going, they said he was just literally flying 90 miles an hour down the highway. And they pull a gun out of protocol because they don't know what he's running from. And if he's going that fast, must be hiding something. And they just pull a gun just to protect themselves. And they got him out. And I did put up a video on my Facebook account, and you can find it. It's just Dutch Mantell, simple. But I put it up, and he is drunker than Cooter Brown. He can hardly stand up. He can hardly take one step in front of the other. And he registered a .29 something. 294, 295, which is 3 times, almost 4 times the legal limit that you can drive. I think in the United States or in the state of Florida, I think it's a .8. They're considering you that unable to drive. But if you hit a .29, and he's lucky that he didn't kill himself, but even luckier that he didn't kill some other people because he was weaving all over the road. And his excuse when he got out, he was going for a brain scan. Well, he couldn't have been thinking straight.
Well, he needed one, apparently.
Well, he may have. He's needed one years ago because but he's not going to change. Now, his job in AEW is gone now for the time being, unless he goes to rehab and it's certified that he is sober. But that's useless. He has been to rehab before. He has refused rehab before because in WWE, they wanted to send him and he said, no, I'm not going. And so he's been to rehab. So when somebody tells you who they are, at some point, you just have to believe them. He's an alcoholic and he's, I don't know how much drugs he takes, but he's probably addicted to that also. And they're just not going to stop. So when they're not going to stop, I don't know what you do. So the only thing I can say is put him in jail and keep him away from everybody else. I mean, you can't put him in jail forever because the laws don't allow you to do that. But 3 DUIs in Florida within the limit that he had them
4 years
is an automatic 90 days in jail. Automatic. So if I was a judge, I'd give him 90 days and I would take none off. Maybe he could dry out in 90 days. But see, prison is more than just punishment. Prison is to protect the citizens. I mean, if you take a killer and you take, because he's killed people and you put him in jail for 10 years and you keep him for 10 years, well, you're safe from that individual for 10 years. But the day he gets out, that's when the safety around that person leaves because he can go kill again. I had a theory one time. I said, you need to take people that there is no hope for them and put them on an island like Devil's Island. What happened?
No, we're good.
You there?
I'm here.
Wait a minute, where did my picture go?
Hang on, I'll pause it.
Well, I had a theory like I was talking about, like Devil's Island. You take these people when they show that there's nothing to do and put them on an island along with those other people who have shown they don't care either and let them live amongst themselves. That's very, I don't know what you would call that, but
Battle Royale.
What else
sounds like.
Yeah. What else are you going to do? Because every time that Jeff Hardy gets behind the wheel of a car, you don't know whether he's drinking or not. Now, this is the thing I didn't tell you. You know, my granddaughter got killed by a drunk driver. And my daughter and I, we were in Tennessee. We actually took a petition and we got like 15,000 or 20,000 signatures on it. And we presented it to the state legislature in Tennessee, and they adopted a law. It's called Amelia's Law. It was named after her, which says that if a person convicted of drunk driving, they can be equipped with a dermal device that fits around their ankle, I think, that monitors their alcohol intake and their movement immediately. So if you can see that somebody's been arrested for drunk driving and they're wearing one of these, as soon as that moves a little bit, then you can check. I mean, you have to be on this constantly. And if they're drinking, it will show up. And it's called Amelia's Law. And hang on a minute. What'd you say? For judge. Oh, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. Not only is it for alcohol, it's for drugs too. Mm-hmm. So, and hopefully, and it's in effect in Tennessee. And it didn't get installed right away because that was, they said the person who is convicted of it has to pay for that. And they says, and then they said, well, they may not have the means to do that. My response was, well, they had means to buy drugs. They had means to buy alcohol. So they have means to do this. So, but I think more of that needs to be instituted in this country because it is a serious, serious problem. And I don't know if it is in the UK, but it is in the United States. It's a serious problem.
Yeah. Why does, at least as far as I can tell when I look online briefly, Jeff Hardy seems to be getting a bit more sympathy than Tammy Sitch in essentially the same situation, although obviously Jeff didn't kill anyone, thank goodness. But why does Jeff get more sympathy than Tammy?
Well, I think the people, because Tammy's always been like the bad girl, the heel. And if you just meet her, she's a really a smart ass. She just thinks about herself because I know her. I have no problem with her because I never crossed her. But people that cross her, I've seen her. She'd cuss, raise hell, throw things, hit people. But Jeff was never like that. Jeff is a more likable guy, I think. And if you hear Jeff talk, he's like soft-spoken and, you can't imagine him really getting mad. I think that's one of the reasons because his on-screen persona is more of a likable guy than what Tammy is. But her Tammy's personality now is her personality. Her on-screen personality was actually her.